Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're completely demystifying the new home buying process and giving you the absolute insider secrets you need to protect your family's investment. Listen, if you're even thinking about jumping into the market for a brand new build, you are definitely going to want to pay close attention to this one. We're getting right into the weeds, breaking down the hidden mechanisms of builder contracts, the tricks behind model homes, and the confusing world of builder financing. By the end of this, you're going to have the tools to walk away with your absolute dream home, totally unscathed, and most importantly, without losing your shirt in the process.
So, let's start with a really common assumption. You drive into a new development, you see those colorful flags waving in the breeze, the perfectly manicured lawns in front of the model homes, and you naturally think, wow, everything here is perfect. I mean, it's brand new, so it literally has to be flawless, right? Well, actually, no. We really need to uncover the hidden perils of buying brand new, because right underneath that fresh paint in modern flooring, the reality of new construction is often a lot more complicated and sometimes way messier than it appears on the surface.
You know that incredibly friendly agent sitting at the desk, the one offering you a cold bottled water the second you walk into the model home? Here's the hard truth. They actually work for the builder's bottom line, not yours. They are highly trained professionals, and their ultimate goal is to sell you a product at the absolute highest possible margin for their employer. Don't get me wrong, they're super nice, they're incredibly helpful, but they are absolutely not your representative in this transaction.
Okay, so to successfully navigate this massive labyrinth of new construction, here is our game plan. We're going to cover why you need to bring your own agent, how to spot the model home illusion, decoding those sneaky builder incentives, avoiding the upgrade trap, why inspections are absolutely mandatory, and finally, some timeline and warranty secrets. Let's dive right in.
Step 1 on this journey: bring your own agent. They are literally your first line of defense.
Having a buyer's agent who is legally bound to look out for your best interests becomes critical right out of the gate during the contract phase. You're going to encounter something called earnest money. Think of earnest money kind of like an engagement ring for the house. It's usually a non-refundable deposit, anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. This is your way of showing the builder, hey, I'm a serious buyer with real skin in the game. Now, this does get credited back to you at closing, but be super careful here. If you breach the contract for some reason, the builder can absolutely keep that money.
And speaking of contracts, a standard builder contract can easily be 56 pages long. Yes, 56 pages of dense legal jargon designed entirely to protect the builder, not you, the builder. This is exactly why you need your own agent to sit down and read every single word. These aren't just standard state real estate forms. They are custom written by the builder's highly paid attorneys. You simply cannot just blindly click and sign when you're dealing with a document this massive and binding.
Moving on to step 2, the model home illusion. We call this the battle of base versus beautiful.
Builders desperately want you to fall in love with that tricked-out model home, but you have to remember that heavily advertised starting from price you saw on the billboard usually just buys you a basic empty box. The gorgeous model home you're walking through often has an extra 30 to 50% of its base price tacked on in really expensive upgrades. It's sitting on a premium lot, maybe it's tucked nicely into a cul-de-sac, whereas that starting base price, that gets you 4 standard walls, basic flooring, and absolutely zero frills.
You also have to realistically budget for lot premiums and backyard landscaping, because trust me, those are rarely included in that tempting base price. In a lot of communities, especially if you're looking out west, you literally just get dirt in the back, and you're given a set amount of time after closing to finish the backyard entirely at your own expense. So that low price on the waving flags? It's a brilliantly effective marketing tactic, but it is almost never the final number you are actually going to pay.
That being said, buying into a new community early does have some serious perks. To give you an idea, one buyer in a community out in Summerlin gained a staggering $200,000 in equity just by getting in during Phase 1. As the builder releases new phases over the years, that base price almost always creeps up. So sure, you might be living next to a noisy construction zone for a year or two, but riding that wave of phase-by-phase price increases can realistically build you massive equity before you even get the keys to the front door.
All right, step 3, decoding builder incentives. Because guys, there is truly no such thing as a free lunch.
Let's do some math, because this is where a lot of people get tripped up. A seemingly generous $5,000 closing credit from the builder's lender is often instantly wiped out by highly inflated origination and processing fees. These are basically just the administrative costs they charge to create your loan. The builder's lender might say, hey, we're giving you $5,000.
but then they quietly charge you $7,000 in fees on the back end. So you actually end up in the exact same spot financially, or sometimes even worse off, compared to just using an independent lender who didn't offer a flashy credit in the first place.
You often see something called an affiliated business arrangement. Basically, it means they aren't actually giving you free money. They're quite literally just moving profits out of their builder pocket and sliding it right into their mortgage company pocket. This is exactly why you absolutely must shop around. Let different lenders fight for your business. Grab those loan estimates, compare the actual bottom line fees, and please don't let a sales agent bully you into thinking you are required to use their preferred lender to buy the house. You aren't.
Which brings us to step 4. Avoid the upgrade trap so you can keep your hard-earned cash. When you go to the Builder's Design Center, it is incredibly easy to destroy your debt-to-income ratio, which is how lenders measure your debts against your earnings, just by checking boxes for fancy cabinet knobs, premium carpets, and fancy faucets. Don't do it. Decline the overpriced builder packages. For example, swap out those awful standard builder-grade boob lights for sleek, modern fixtures yourself. It literally takes a Saturday afternoon and a quick trip to Home Depot. Take the builder-grade basics, keep your loan amount lower, and personalize the home on your own dime later.
Seriously, the savings can be unbelievable. We saw one buyer cut their costs by 50% simply by building their beautiful 22-foot accent wall themselves after moving in. The builder wanted an eye-watering $15,000 to replicate the fireplace wall they saw in the model home. No way! By waiting until after closing and just hiring their own local contractors, this buyer saved $7,500. Think about that. That's $7,500 they could instantly turn around and spend on furnishing the place.
Okay, step 5. Inspections are mandatory. The golden rule here is trust, but definitely verify.
Just because a house is brand new construction does not mean it is built perfectly. Builders are working incredibly fast right now. They're managing dozens of different subcontractors, and honestly, mistakes absolutely happen. Do not skip the inspection just because no one has lived there yet. Once that drywall goes up, any hidden, costly mistakes are sealed inside those walls forever. In one specific case, a buyer almost decided to skip their pre-drywall inspection. But they didn't. And thank goodness, because the inspector found cracked wooden framing and actual active plumbing leaks. They caught it before the builder could hide it behind the sheetrock.
So to catch these issues, you need a foolproof step-by-step inspection timeline. This ensures the builder fixes every single deficiency before you hand over a dime. First, you want an independent inspector there before the drywall goes up. Second, bring them back a couple of weeks before closing. And finally, crucially, get them back out right around month 11, just before your standard 1-year builder warranty expires, to catch anything that settled or broke over the first year.
And finally, step 6, timeline and warranty secrets. We are nearing the finish line now.
Unlike buying a resale home where you usually have a nice fixed 30-day closing date, a new build is a fluid, moving construction project subject to the realities of the real world. A good rule of thumb to keep in mind is that once you start seeing cabinets and countertops being installed, you are usually about 60 days out from closing. But again, stay flexible. Then, about 10 to 14 days out, you'll do your blue tape walk. You literally take a roll of blue painter's tape and mark every cosmetic defect so the superintendent has enough time to get their crews back in to fix them before closing day.
And I can't stress this enough. Always have a flexible backup living plan. Whether that means securing a month-to-month rental or very carefully timing the sale of your current house, never, ever expect a new build to finish exactly on the builder's estimated date. Labor shortages, a weird week of heavy rain, or even just a delayed shipment of garage doors from a supplier can easily push your closing back by weeks or sometimes even months. So there you have it. Armed with your own agent, the knowledge to shop for independent lenders, and a dedicated third-party inspector, you are finally ready to conquer the new construction labyrinth. At the end of the day, it's all about doing the math, avoiding the emotional traps, and carefully reading those contracts. So, looking ahead at your own roadmap, how are you going to use these secrets to protect your investment on your next home build? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.